What's happening?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Another day in cold Michigan.
Yeah. I heard you guys talking about the YouTube issues. You know, Rich, I went to go take that survey because I wanted to do the same thing that you were talking about, and that's, kind of lay into them. And
Yeah.
I was on it for a while, and it said 39% complete. And I got out of there. I was like, how much time do they need? Like that thing just went on and on and on and on to a point where it's like, all right, enough's enough. Good grief.
It did, and it was basically the same questions over and over, just rephrased a little bit different.
So many repetitive questions. How many times can you say you are not happy with them enough?
Right.
I was leaving comments. I was answering all their questions, and you'd answer the questions, and it would say, well, why did you answer this? Well, I don't have 45 minutes to devote to your stupid survey, but yeah. I'm glad you finished it. You have more patience than I had with it.
I ain't even seen anything on it.
It's a little blue tab that shows up on top of, I don't know, your channel page or something.
It was just, they were just trying to inflate themselves, saying how they supported the creators and all that. And my main feedback for them was that they were just, that it was all too biased. It looked like to me, it was like the support only existed for, it seemed like people that held certain opinions as far as like political ideology and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I really don't think it's that big a deal to me personally. And I've looked at some other big channels talk about it. I mean, channels we wouldn't even look at. It was just ran across them different ways, and I've seen their point of view, and I've heard some different points of view, and a lot of them did make sense. And I mean, they were just YouTubers, but they were big YouTube channels,
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, it was like trying to evidently is a big problem. And I have heard of it where people will copy other people's videos and post them on their YouTube page and monetize it. Like take one of Dan's videos reviewing a gun and put it on his channel, especially channels that don't show their face where they just talking or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty rampant. Maybe not in the gun community, but maybe other communities, whether it's vaping or drone helicopters or whatever else is out there. And I heard that was one big problem they was trying to eliminate, and some other different things. And I know from my point of view, and I looked up my analytics. I blow by. I am well qualified. They hadn't sent me no letters, nothing like that. And it's nickels and dimes. It's like, in a year's time, I know we're not supposed to talk about money, but in a year's time, I could buy a gun.
Yeah.
And that's with, they're saying you got to have 4,000 hours of views. I got 40,000 hours of views in the past year.
I mean, I'm getting close to 4,000 a month, but as far as the days or whatever it is it says, but and I'm like you, I make, it's about every 3 months I'll get like a minimum,
Yeah. That's about what I get. Yeah, somewhere around in there.
It's just, it's not, I spend more than, it doesn't, I can't even go into it. It's just ridiculous. I could care less about their little money. To me, it's just kind of like the idea. It's like, well, because you're doing this kind of stuff, we're going to put you over here, and that's kind of what gets on my nerves. It's just like, to me, it's like discriminating, and
it's just a principle of it,
Yeah.
That's the only thing that got me,
Well, like I said, it's a lot of the things I looked at, and I'm not calling smaller channels riffraff or whatever, but where people are causing problems and are abusing the system to a point. Because, like I said, if you don't have those kind of views and people anyway, you're not making any money anyway.
Right.
So it's not like they're really taking anything from anybody.
Yeah.
If you make $5 one month, they don't send you a check for $5, you know.
Right. Because if they did, I'd be rich. No, I'm just kidding.
You are rich. What are you talking about? Well, let me introduce you guys. We got a few of them out there. We got Dan, the firearm guy. We got Pop's Quest, Rich 4150, and TR Prepper. I know you guys all know it. I see a couple new, or one new person out there on the side chat might not know you. So introductions, and we'll let you do what you got coming up at the end of the program. We'll just keep on rattling off here. And hey, Rob.
Hey, Don. Yeah, I took the survey and I did the whole thing. I did the whole thing to the end, and I did not resist the survey.
I didn't.
So I don't know if it'll do any good, but I felt like, you know, if they was hunting for me information, I was going to be honest. And, you know, I think some people, based on the questions that I saw, I think some people that, you know, might try making money from their channel might not want to answer them honestly, but I was down there with it, and I just let them have it. But and I typed out every time it got to a thing. Well, why don't you think creators are valued in YouTube? I fucking let them have it. I let them, you know, I went haywire, and you know, we'll see what happens with it. I hope they won't lash back at me, but I'm not the kind to just kind of sugarcoat stuff. So.
Yeah,
anyway.
I kind of did the same thing, and I'm expecting YouTube's version of ICE to come down on me pretty hard at some point. But, you know, it is what it is. I think you got to be honest. If they're going to throw out the questions, you know, I'm throwing out what I think. You know, it's just.
You know, a lot of these people that work for Google are like 24-year-old kids. And these are the people that are making some of the decisions. Now, I don't know if I know they're making the technical decisions. I mean, if you ever look at the people that do the instructional videos when they come out with the new feature or whatever, those look like kids that just walked out of high school. And when you look at the people who make their videos and blah blah blah, they're like little kids. Now, in that survey, I recall seeing that saying, "Oh, this is completely anonymous. Nobody will know who you are. Be honest and don't worry about anything." I take that for about that much, okay? Because it's coming from your channel.
And what in the next question? Do you trust YouTube?
Yeah. And they had all those features and all this stuff. I didn't ever even heard of half of them, and I had no idea what they were talking about. And that thing just went on and on and on and on and on. I mean, I was like bored after, like I wasn't even 50% through, and I was on it for like a while.
Well, what's funny is it's like the survey goes 1%, 2%, 3%, 3%. It doesn't go nowhere. But then all of a sudden, when you start answering questions that like have a little bit of meaning, it jumps from like 30% to 40 to 50. It kind of speeds up at the end, and I seen it all the way through to the end, and I submitted a full survey, but it speeds up as they start to engage you and stuff. I think I want to say, based on Google being who they are, hang on a second, guys. I got to mute this.
Somebody said only the uneducated monkeys look at the survey. And that's Fuzz out there. He may be right. I mean, who knows?
I mean,
so the only thing I'll say is I think that the survey was designed to change as you answered questions, like in a typical Google fashion. Like, you know, it's like when you watch ads and certain things come into your feed and stuff like that. I think as you answered, so it was slow in the beginning to get your feel on stuff. And then the key questions were a little different for everybody. It would be cool to see my survey against like somebody else's survey in a totally different part of YouTube. It would be interesting, because I think they're two totally different things. And I let them have it on the unfairness to, gun channels and, exposure and stuff like that. I totally ripped them,
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, and I hate to even say this, but there's so many people out there. We're kind of a, we all know about guns. Most of us been around guns for, a good part of our lives, if not all of it. And we're used to that. But you think about a lot of these people that are new shooters, and they just have these totally different ideologies about it. And especially, y'all talk about young kids are probably setting up most of the technical stuff. They're probably afraid of this stuff,
Yeah.
You trying to say there's some snowflakes in there, Rich?
Well, yeah. I mean,
what I took
70 million people probably own most of the guns in the country, and those other almost 200 million people, well, not quite 200 million, but are probably half scared to death of them.
Yeah, one of the things I took from that survey was that they wanted to get a feel of what features you are using and what you do not know about. Because ever since I've been involved with this, it's always changed. Like the channel layout has changed about 4 or 5 times. Features that we've enjoyed all of a sudden have gone away, and other things have had. Now they have come up with some good ones. I'll give them that. But that's what I thought they were trying to get a feel for that. I don't think they're looking to actually hear what we think. Okay, these are a bunch of liberals in California. They don't care what we think. That's just the way I took it. Because a lot of them had to do with, well, check off the features like that, the trending tab. Do you use the trending tab? I don't even know what the trending tab is. Okay, I think I've seen it a couple times. No, I don't use it. But then it had all these other things I've never even heard of. So anyway,
that's a good point, Dan. They might have used your wanting to fill in the blanks of your feelings and emotions, and actually feeling like you're speaking to them in an effort to gain other information from you.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, when they receive the survey, everything's blanked out except the stuff they want. I mean, they have the ability to do that. So that's a very good point. It could have been total bait just to get you to answer 10 important questions for them, not for us.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, I'm surprised you don't use the trending tab, because I like have this whole big database, and I take the trends and all the words on the trends, and every word in my videos, it's carefully scripted to fit in with those trends. So,
well,
and that's how I get my multi-millions of views.
It's working good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Rich, the one time I did go to the trending tab, all throughout the screen said Rich 4150, and I said, I'm so sick of this guy.
Another stupid video.
Everything was trending.
I just always tag my videos with the firearms guy, and that's
right. That's a good.
Yeah, that's been successful so far, so I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, that's a good way to lose subscribers too.
I will say that I have started. I used to have like guns in the tagline, and the tags you add for the chat and everything, because we talk about guns and things like that. And just for curiosity, I stopped doing it. I stopped putting like AK-47 and Glock and stuff in the tags, and just to see if it makes a difference, because every one of my chats just automatically get demonetized, and just seeing if there's keywords that'll demonetize it. And I hadn't really come up with a surefire, but I know having them in the tags seems to make it come up non-monetized for some reason, a little quicker, a little easier.
I think you're right. I've noticed that as well. And I've taken, like, on my tags now, like, I've changed my titles. I don't even put gun names, or Like it could be a review on a gun, and I'm not even naming a gun or anything about a gun, and they don't get demonetized until a few days later, which I think they've got some kind of little monkey that sees a gun on the screen or something and then demonetizes them.
But don't y'all think that once you've done a video about a gun, or you've shot a gun on your channel, or and I think this is the kind of the underhanded thing that we're all alluding to, that I just want to get y'all's opinion on. Don't you think once they determine that you're a gun channel, don't you think that they like mark you? You know how they used to mark people back in the days and stuff. Don't you think they mark your channel as a gun channel, and then their own analytics kind of take over? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I saw something about that a while back on what they say there's like little tags in the metadata. And I think that's what happens, that you get put like in certain places within the algorithm where you only get your video thrown up so many times in like their random search or whatever stuff that they have. And I think you're absolutely right. I think we get put in a lower class that doesn't get.
So it's like racism, basically. It's like YouTube racism, in my opinion, or you know, whatever you want to call it. But
yeah, definitely discriminated against. Yeah.
But even your channel name could actually influence something like that. Like mine's got prepper in it, so that could probably be a flag every time right off the bat. Yeah,
I would change your channel name to TR's Quest if I were you, like immediately.
Nah, I'm stuck with it. Even though I don't do prepping videos anymore.
Well, you know, someone told me a long time ago when I was, you know, going into business and I was trying to learn business. I was feeding off a couple of guys that were way more successful than me, and one of the things they told me about starting a business, they were like, "Well, never put your name in a business. Like, don't put like Rob's freaking cabinets or something like that, because, you know, one day you want to market that business. You might want to sell that business. You might want to make that business, you know, more open to like everybody and not just like people that know you and stuff like that." So one of the things I learned about business was always give your name, your business name, something, you know, like, you know, very, very, very widespread, like the firearm guy, you know, like, or something like that. So that's very smart to do that. And you don't like, if you ever want to sell your YouTube channel, I don't think you could ever do that. But if you did, you know, you don't want to sell a channel that's named Rob's Only Firearm Reviews or something like that. You want to have a name that you can sell to everyone, you know. So take it for what it's worth. I think it's important to do that, you know.
That's a good point.
And then you want it to start with like an A, so you're listed first in the yellow pages,
or like 3 number 1s and 4 A's or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, the 4 1s quadruple A tow truck company or something like that.
Right.
Well, the name I got, the only one would want to buy something like this would probably be an Indian. Sounds like an Indian name.
I like it though. It's very, you know, it's adaptable to many things, you know. So anyway, take it for what it's worth. I'm not trying to do anything with my channel, so it doesn't really matter. But as a matter of business, that someone told me that about business, so I figured I'd share it.
I could believe that.
Philo in the chat out there says everyone wants to be happy and famous. I want to be happy. I don't really care about fame.
Yeah, I don't care about famous. I don't care who the hell knows me. I'll have just as much fun tomorrow if not a sumbitch on planet Earth knows me or knows me not. I don't care. I'm going to do what I'm going to do tomorrow regardless.
I kind of had my 15 minutes like years ago when I was like 15. I raced motorcycles and I was racing in Korea because we lived in South Korea at the time. And my dad became like a model. He worked for the government, but he took my thing because I got big. I mean, people loved me. I had like kids were sending me medals. The president had given them, and I was like on TV and doing interviews, and I was like totally hated it. Like people, one time this lady like that was with us said, come get your autographs. And it caused like a freaking big ordeal. And I was like hateful. And it was like, I would not do well with that, with people like trying to get to me. And I was kind of glad that ended. But
well, it's a good thing you didn't have any guns on you. You might have shot everybody.
yeah, I was really a hateful little kid. It was pretty bad. I'm not proud of that.
Bald and Curious. Any ball guy would love his channel. That's why I watch it, Bald and Curious.
I can be bald when I want to, but it's not mandatory as it is with him. So,
well, as soon as winter's over, I'm gonna get rid of this fur I got on here. Wife's been complaining about it anyway. So,
Don, you need to get a nice goatee for a little while. I've never seen you with one of them. You need to go ahead and like pattern it down and see what it looks like.
I'll go back onto some of my older videos. Give me some views.
I need to do that. You know what? I know I watched them. I probably just forgot.
You know, that would be a good contest to throw out there. You know, the first person in the chat to go out and see what one of Don's videos had a goatee on it, and then you know, come back and tell us which one it was, and Don's going to send him a case of ammo. How about that?
Yeah, I like that idea.
That's mighty generous of you, Dan.
Listen, if anybody can pull it off, I'll send them a damn mag loader. I'll tell you that much right now.
Uh-oh, we just lost half our guys.
Because I can't remember. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember. It had to be a long time ago.
No, last summer.
Really?
Yep.
You grow a beard fast then. Dang.
See, you don't watch my videos either.
Yeah, I do. I got a short memory, dude. I promise. I watch all your videos.
Just joking with you. No, that's last summer. I usually peel her off. I usually get a goatee and shave my head during the summer.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, sorry about that. Shit, man.
Well, I have to admit, after you've been on YouTube a while and you sub a lot of people, the videos do kind of all blur together at times. Try to watch as many as you can, and it's just like I can't remember what I watched, but I always, when I watch somebody's video, I like it and I try to make a comment.
Well, it's like 2 years ago, I had a full beard. I didn't have to go to. I had like a full beard, so I guess I kind of did the same thing. I shaved it down.
I watch a ton of videos when I get up so blame early, anywhere from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock till I get up and get the wife and dog up at 6 o'clock. I'm on this blame computer. There's not a whole lot to do in the middle of the night, you know?
Yeah, Don, your comments always come in like early morning for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's very seldom you see one during the day. It's usually in the morning I get up and watch the chats or whatever. But
Daniel heard about the free Pops mag loader.
I'll send him one. I'm going to send him one anyway, so let him guess it.
I think Borg might have already done it. He put in Hot Pot. Was that one of your videos, Don?
Oh,
okay. Never mind.
Oh, Don doesn't even know. I have to go back and verify it.
600 and some of them. I can't remember them all. I just know some of them got goatees on them. I was out there today, Bad Billy. He said he's going out to Peacemaker Sunday. I was out there this morning after I got done with the range. I went by there. Let's change the subject a little bit. I was telling TR and Rich something that happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to you guys, called procrastination. I got an email the other day. You guys that's followed me know I like 1911s, and I've been wanting a 10 millimeter. I want you to look if it'll come in. A Rock Island, 1911, 10 millimeter. It's a military. It's their lower grade. You know, it's got the military sights on it. $379. Get that in there.
Whoa.
$379. Well, when I was on my way to the range this morning, I called Rural King. That's who's got it or had it. I says, you have any in stock? He says, no, it's online. You have to buy it and they'll send it to the store. I mean, they charge you $10 shipping. There's no FFL because they ship it directly to the store, which is about 15, 20 miles north of me up at Heartland. I said, okay. So I went out to the range and I stopped by Peacemakers and I thought, well, I'm going to see if they got anything in there. Well, they didn't have any. They had a 19. Well, they had one, but it was 45, which didn't interest me. And they had a 450 price tag on that. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. I got out in the car, got on the website. I mean, right on my phone. I was getting ready. I was going to order it, have them ship it. They were sold out. So, you know, they get a number you could call. I got on the call, and this was shortly after 11 o'clock. And got on the phone. I got this recording. You're in the queue. You're in the queue. You're number 20, I think she said. Estimated time's about an hour. So I says, what the heck with that? So I missed out on it. I got this email Monday. If I'd have done it Monday, but I kept hee-hawing around and didn't do it.
Yeah. If you look at, you know, a good example of that would be the SD9VE with Palmetto, you know, and some of these, well, if you want to call them Black Friday deals, you know, I am convinced they may have had 4 or 5 of them, and people say this website is, you know, obviously they had that for a killer deal. Most likely a deal they worked out with Rock Island, and people went and shopped up and down that website to find similar deals.
Well, I just wanted to talk to them and see if they was going to get any more in. I knew they didn't have any, but I couldn't even get a.
If I recall, that's a $600 firearm.
They're let me see. Well, that's what the guy out at Peacemaker says. He says their MSRP is $550.
Boy, that's the lowest price 10mm I've ever seen.
And their regular RKG's regular price evidently is $429.97, and the special buy is $379.99, $10 shipping, no FFL charges because they do it all right there. I know last week they had LCP2 on sale for $239, I think it was, which is a good deal because I was looking at one of them up at Huron Valley the other day, and they wanted $275 for it. I may do like TR and get one of them $169 specials at Palmetto State. They still got them going.
So are we talking about regrets on procrastination? Is that kind of the theme?
Yeah, that's basically it for this gun. You know, I just hee-hawed around. I should have did it Monday morning when I got the email, and I might have had one, but I didn't.
Yeah, I've had a few, and I know a bunch of guys that talk about those CMC triggers that we got around Black Friday for $82 a piece or what have you. Right. I bought 5 of them damn things, and lo and behold, they've gone back up to $200 or $189 or whatever they are, and they've stayed there, and it's worth it all day long. But man, I've been contacted by a bunch of people saying, "Hey, you got any extras?" And normally I would, but I'm selling all my Geisley triggers, and I'm putting them triggers in all my ARs because I tell you what, those are. I was going to make a whole video and a production about it, but I think I like those triggers better than the Geisley triggers, and that's saying a lot. So I'm going to keep them and just put them in my ARs. But there's a lot of people who regret not getting those when they had the chance. And I know not everybody, you know, when it's time to buy, you might not be able to. And that's kind of the empty regret, right? You know, like you regret it, but it's not like you could do anything about it, you know. And I've had properties I wanted to buy and stuff like that, and you couldn't pull the trigger on, and then later in life you see it and you go, man, I was going to buy that and stuff. So you have regrets, but it's all put in perspective. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it is what it is.
Yeah, timing's everything. The time has to be right. You know, there have been times I saw the certain guns I wanted. I went home, slept on it, went back to the store, it was gone. And, you know, and yeah, disappointment, but timing's everything. You know, if you need to sleep on it, then that's what you need to do. If it's gone, it's gone. You know that when you walk out of the store. I thought that deal would be better than you said, though, Trees. That's a $50 deduction, which is significant. Don't get me wrong, but I thought that would be more of a $200 reduction. So
the guy out at Peacemaker said if in his store it would sell for around $650, but
yeah,
according to them, the MSRP is $550 on it.
I have never seen one of those outside of SHOT. I've never seen one live at a gun store.
Yeah, and to your point, Dan, timing is everything on what something's worth. You know, I've paid $800 for guns that you can buy for $400 now. So I got the reverse regret going on where, man, I wish I hadn't bought that gun and waited. You know, so there's that end of the thing too. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I'm in the rental business. I bought homes on the top of the bubble. And
yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
yeah, and so for me, it's a waiting game. You know, I can't sell it, so I may as well just keep renting them out until eventually time will catch up, and we'll see. You know, either that or I'm able to beat down the price a bit, or the balance.
Off topic, do you manage your own properties?
Yeah. Yeah.
God
I don't
bless
do all the work. I don't do all the work. It's I'm slowly getting out. I had a sale last year. I'm rehabbing a house right now to sell, and as they become vacant, I'm going to begin selling because Michigan is pretty hot right now, but housing took off other places in the country well before Michigan. So I kept hearing, "Oh, housing market's hot." Well, it wasn't here. We had people flooding out of this state for a number of years, and now it's come back.
Right. Yeah. No, we have I believe we're creating another bubble where I'm at. There's so much building going on; it's ridiculous. So I've committed myself to not own anything except for my shop and my house, and have them both paid off in the next 4 to 5 years. And I believe we're going to see another housing crash. Not to change the subject on this whole chat, but you know, I think at least where I'm at, things are building way too fast. So I got a strategy as well. I hope I don't regret that. Speaking of regrets, but you know, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Look, all you have to do is look at the stock market. If people knew, then everybody would make money on the stock market. But in order for people to make money, other people have to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I guess the old saying goes, you know, buy when people are selling, sell when people are buying. If you just live by that principle, and with guns and ammo, you know, you'll be okay. Right now, people are selling, so it's a good time to buy. 2000.
Did y'all ever in your town see like on telephone poles a sign that'll be like "We buy guns" or "I buy guns" and a telephone number?
I haven't seen that, although I've seen other things, but not "We buy guns."
Used to in Michigan, see them in the want ads all the time, but they don't in the Free Press and the Journal and everything, but they don't list them anymore.
Yeah, around town here, I guess there's somebody out there wanting to buy guns for cash, and I'm sure they're lowballing everything they get. But it's interesting to see that sign. You know, it's like "I buy guns" and a phone number. You know, so it's funny.
Yeah, I'll give you $200 for that beautiful 1911 you have there, cash.
Yeah, I think it's people that maybe, you know, falling on hard times or just don't understand how to, you know, do whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I got this gun, and I see that, and boom, and the dude gets 50 cents on the dollar," you know. So,
well, you know, a lot of
the guys going, well, I need 250. Well, I'll give you 225 because, you know, I feel for you. So,
but you know, if you ever talk to an officer, they will tell you that a lot of people pass away and the wife has these guns and they call the police department and say, just send somebody over here and get these out of the house because she's scared to have them in the house. She doesn't understand what's going on. And these cops will come and they'll pick up however many guns and just take them and either keep them or have them destroyed or whatever the case. Auction them.
Yeah.
Probably what my wife would do with mine.
Yeah, to me that's criminal. You can't, like, as a law enforcement, you can't just show up at someone's house and take guns for free. I mean, that, I don't know, man. That to me seems wrong.
Yeah, well, they're providing a service based on the call, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. That's sketchy.
Hey, I got one police story for you. This one will kind of blow you away. It's been several years ago, but I mean, it's been in the last 15 years, whatever. Anyway, my younger brother, seems like he was in an accident or something, or they got him I think they even got him for DUI or something like that. I don't know. I mean, he's a problem child anyway, but he had my father's 1911 in the car, truck, or whatever he was in. And it happened real close to my parents. And so my mom and sister or something like that got there, you know, he called them or whatever. And the police officer, you know, he searched the vehicle and all that and found it. He actually gave it to them. He said, I know this is worth a good bit of money. Won't y'all just take that home? Because it wasn't involved in it wasn't like a crime happened involving a firearm or whatever. But I thought that was kind of like, it's a wonder he done that.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying cops are bad or whatever, but, you know, there's a scene of an accident. They're getting him for DUI or whatever it was. And probably drug paraphernalia or drugs or something, to be honest with you. But they actually, he gave the firearm to my mom. Said, you need to take it home. That's worth a little bit of money or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Turned out it's worth an actual lot of money, but that's another story. But it's gone now. It don't really matter. One thing, and I'm going to, okay, I think I've told this before, but just for good karma, whatever, there was a falling out in the family, and that gun was in my possession, and I gave it up just because. Even though my dad gave me that gun, I gave it up. But it was a first production run of a 1911 ever. It was on the first production run. The serial number was 4 numbers long. It was made in 1912.
Wow.
That was a very sad ending, T.R.
It's a very sad ending. I mean, it's probably worth $10,000 or $20,000 or something like that.
Well, you know, they say this actual serial number, from what I've been reading, doesn't have much to do with the value, but the condition and any outstanding stories, like who a particular person owned it, or stuff like that. And I was like, man, how does unless it was a really low serial number, like within the first 10 or something.
I don't remember the 4 numbers, but it was number 7,000 something or another. The very first production run of a 1911, made in 1912.
Wow.
Yeah.
One's off the line.
Yeah. What do you suppose that was worth?
I'm thinking 10 or 20,000. I've seen 1911s within the millions serial number, and they're wanting $3,000 for them. You know?
Wow.
Well, I'm trying to help you with your pain here.
No, I know you. Hey,
I guess it's not working.
You know, its potential worth and whatever. Because I wouldn't have sold it anyway, so it really don't matter. But it's just one of those things that happen. I mean, my dad paid like $400 for it. I was carrying it around under my truck seat for a while. You know, I mean, we didn't know it was worth anything. It's just old. You know, this is in the 90s. this is old military 1911. They wasn't worth anything then, you know. But that one probably was then. At then, we just didn't know.
Well, it might not have been worth a lot then, but now it might be worth a lot. It's, you know, it, you know, then you might have not done. It might have not been a bad thing then, but maybe you regret it now. So yeah.
Oh, and I also gave up a Colt Python during that exchange too.
See, that would be the thing that itched at me. God,
a lot of people did
that. 6-inch Python, beautiful. Oh my God, I hated doing that.
I'm gonna eventually overpay for one of those because I definitely want one.
Well, while we're talking about guns, I want to show you guys something. If I made a video at shot on this thing, but I don't know if you guys seen or heard of the credit card gun, but this is it.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw you did it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is the actual size of a credit card, and you can see it goes maybe not quite a half-inch thick. Like it's very thin, and this little thing. I'm not going to say it's the greatest firearm or anything like that, but the innovation that went into this thing, in my opinion, is amazing. It's currently locked, and it's got 2 levers over here. You pull down one of the levers. You have to have it the right way. You pull down one of the levers, and it unlocks like that. The other lever opens the tip-up barrel. Okay, so it's a single shot 22. And then you close it, pull the striker back, and you have a single shot. I think it's pretty incredible, just the way this whole thing works. And then you reset the trigger, hit that lever again, and then it's back to lock position. Isn't that something? It's called Life Card 22.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's pretty neat.
I mean, to think of this now, a lot of people left comments, and I'm not saying they're wrong, but they said, you know, you could get a North American Arms mini revolver. Well, that's true, but they're not this thin. You know, I mean, this is really something. Pretty light, and
well, you could dig it out of your pocket and lay it on a counter somewhere. Nobody would know it was a gun. They
wouldn't know how to operate it. Yeah, they wouldn't know how to operate it. And also, whenever you're wearing jeans with that little pocket inside the pocket, you have a built-in holster right there. So it could be, you know, you could literally fill this up with, say, you know, those little 22 shot shells. And if you were in the woods or something and you didn't want to pull out your firearm, you could pull out a little shot shell and take care of a snake if you had to or whatever. You know, it's got some purposes to it. It does hold four rounds in the storage compartment right there. And it's clearly not the fastest loading thing in the world. But I just wanted to show this here. I just think it's pretty cool.
What's the retail on them? Or MSRP?
$400. And based on what they told me, they're getting $400. So it hasn't reached that point where it's a novelty thing.
Right.
And people,
I'm just surprised Kel-Tec didn't make that gun.
Well, if Kel-Tec made it, it wouldn't be out yet. But it's got a sweet little single action trigger, and I just think the guy that thought this up was, I told him, I said, you know, you are a genius just to come up with this idea. It took him 8 years and then a couple years to get it approved by the ATF. And you know, a couple years ago, everybody was all up in arms over the iPhone gun. This is smaller, lighter. It's a single shot, not a double shot like that iPhone gun. But I think it's pretty cool, and
How
I can't
much
wait
does
to take.
that weigh, Dan?
Good question. I'll actually do that right now while you guys carry on.
Well, what's the?
So I'm thinking of a purpose for it, and I know for me, my purpose would be that would be my, if I was to get kidnapped gun.
Yeah.
No, I want to sneak it on an airplane gun. That's what I want.
Yeah, that too.
Great idea.
6 3/4 ounces.
Yeah, that's light.
Yeah, it's really something. You know, you put this on a table, and I don't know who said it. Maybe it was TR. Nobody would know what it is, and you'd have to know how to operate it. If you hit the levers on the wrong side, it'll work, but everything is the opposite that you're used to. But even to do this, okay, now you got to tilt the barrel up. All right, you have to hit this lever, you know. Then so let's say there's a round in there. Well, you have to pull the striker, and then you're live.
Yeah, too much. But I get it's very innovative.
Yeah, that's what I like is stuff like this, and you know, the purpose is for defensive last effort. You know, your gun failed, something didn't work, and you pull this thing out and you got one shot. And then if you keep 4 in there, then you can reload. But that's it.
Too bad they couldn't have made it for like a double barrel, over and under type thing.
He is working on the same design in different configurations.
Or like 4 barrels. That'd be cool too.
That'd be really cool.
Rotating barrels.
They sent me a hat too.
Little Gatling gun.
Have a little crank sit out the side.
Yeah. I dig it.
See, to me, it should be shaped like a Coke can because, you know, bad guy catches you. He's like, "Oh, do you have any last wishes?" "Well, I just want a Coke. I just happen to have one right here." And when you pull this little tab, it'd be like 100 rounds goes at the guy. That'd be cool.
That's funny you mentioned that. A while back, there was a guy. I don't think he did anything with it, but he wanted to create a vehicle holster out of like a big gulp cup. So you got this big gulp cup, and you either hit a lever and the top pops open, and inside's a built-in holster. And I said, you should do that. You know, if you could make it look real, even though they're see-through now, make it look real, and you should do that. There's still a market for novelty things that people could find some use for, you know.
No, that's cool. So you'd have it in your drink holder, and you the lid would flip up, and you grab a gun and shoot. You'd be able to shoot. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I could totally see it because it's like hiding in plain sight is sometimes the best way to hide things. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you see somebody with a coffee mug or a big gulp cup or a McDonald's, you know, you just gloss over it because it's just normal everyday stuff that people do in their vehicle. You would never consider, even a thief going in there would probably just rummage through it, ignore it.
Yep, you're right. My luck, I'd set the big gulp cup down on somewhere out in public and walk off. You know, I mean, maybe make it where it's like stationary in the vehicle or something. But yeah, that's
your wife would clean out your car and throw it away.
That's exactly what my wife would throw all my guns away.
My wife take it to the store and try to get the 10-cent deposit off of it.
Can I get a refill? Pop the top and go, oh, damn.
Well, I just want
to actually like that idea, though, the big gulp cup. That because the cars now have the center console and you got a cup holder right there.
Yeah, it's a perfect place.
Yeah.
Because I carry at 430. So when that, and I practice this, you know, it's winter, I'm wearing a sweatshirt, I'm wearing a big jacket. To get to that gun quickly is not going to happen with a seatbelt on and all that clothing. To lean forward and reach for that is not going to happen. Now, the people that do the appendix carry have an advantage there. But if you had something right there and something smells bad, you pop that lid and grab that thing, you're in much better shape.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know about South Carolina. Maybe TR can tell you. But I think in our car we still have to. The weapon still has to be concealed. I know in North Carolina you actually have to leave it exposed. Like you actually have to. It has to be out if it's in your car. But in South Carolina, I think it's got to be concealed. Every now and then, I will take the holster and everything out and put it like between my car seat and the console. Especially if I'm in a situation where I'm like, I just, I don't know this area. I want to be able to draw quickly. But if I get pulled over, I'm just going to dump it in my center console. That's kind of how I roll,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in South Carolina, you don't have to have a concealed weapon permit to carry a gun in your vehicle, as long as it's in the console, glove box, trunk. Yeah, I don't think we still can't technically have it exposed in the car, even with a permit. I think, but I'm not sure. I know without.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's weird, like you say, you drive to North Carolina, which I live like 9 miles from North Carolina. I'm supposed to take it out of the glove box and lay it on the seat, but now I don't have to do that because I got the concealed weapon permit work is okay in North Carolina, so I can just keep it on me. But as far as in the car, I guess it would work in the car too in North Carolina if you got a concealed weapon permit. I don't know.
Yeah, I would think as long as you're holstered, you're fine. I mean, every now and then,
like if you got one in the glove box, if you got a permit, my permit's good in North Carolina, I would think that would cover in the glove box too, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a good question because you're carry concealed, but if it's in your car, the rule in North Carolina may supersede the conceal on your body. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not in North Carolina a lot, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
James, the Bohemian Hunting Club says Texas has to be in sight unless you have a concealed permit.
That's like North Carolina law, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, North Carolina's got open carry. That's why you can carry a gun without a permit or anything. You can strap a gun on your side and walk into Walmart in North Carolina. You can't in South Carolina.
Now, what if you're non-resident? Can you still do that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I know where my next viral video is coming from.
Yeah, I mean, unless I'm wrong, because I actually talked to some. I was at a prepper camp last year or year before last, and there were some police officers there, and I was talking to them about open carry and asking them questions, and they were cool. They talked to me and all that, but because I've yet to see somebody open carry in North Carolina when I'm there, and so I got to talking to them about it, and of course their response was, well, it makes you more likely to get somebody who will assault you and try to take your gun and blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, yes sir, yeah, okay, I see your point. The whole time I'm thinking, if I got a gun on me, I think I'm the last person they're gonna come after, not the first person.
Yeah, it's funny how they tell you what they think you want to know instead of what's whatever. That's just funny.
But I want to say that I asked them, because I'm almost positive, but I can't say 100% because my memory's not that good. But I'm pretty sure I asked them. I'm almost positive I asked them if it was okay for somebody in South Carolina to open carry in North Carolina, and the answer was yes. But now somebody can fact check me. I could be wrong on that, but I remember talking to them for about 20 minutes, and I'm almost positive I asked them that question, but I could be wrong. It's been known to happen once or twice in my life. I have been wrong. Just letting y'all know.
I've never heard you be wrong, TR, ever.
So James says you have to have a concealed permit to open carry in Texas. Go figure. Wow.
Really?
Interesting.
Well, I guess you got to have the background check or something. That's probably what it boils down to. You know, just to carry a gun and period, whatever.
But I don't guess you have to have a concealed carry to carry an AR-15 open carry. You carry a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
But it can't be loaded. Probably. You know, there's a lot of states you can carry a rifle down the road, but it can't be loaded.
Is that James from Bohemian Hunting Club?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a great channel. I don't know if you guys sub him, but he does some live hunts, and it's really interesting. I mean, he must have the best setup because he has hogs and deer and just they all come to his feeder, and he chooses one of them and blows them away. I mean, I really enjoy the way he puts his videos together, and he does some gun reviews, sticks with rifles. Every now and again, he brings out a shotgun, but watching him shoot a hog go down, and watch that hog go down and everything, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that last hog they took down was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think he responded to one of my comments the other day because he was deer hunting with a 45-70, and I said, you must really hate deer.
Yeah, it puts them right down.
I was in Walmart today and I seen a bunch of 45-70 in there, and I'm like, man, does anyone ever come in Walmart and buy 45-70 ammunition? There's no way. I'm like, man, why is that so expensive? They should mark that down, And I need to get some because one of these days I'm gonna get one of those. But man, that stuff was so expensive. I want to say it was like $35 for a box of 10 or something like that. I don't know. It was a lot of money.
Yeah, it's very expensive. Very.
So needless to say, I didn't pick none up.
Definitely a 45-70 is definitely a round that you better be reloading if you want to shoot that.
Yeah, but those long straight walls, have you ever tried to resize that? It's got to be ridiculous. I mean, have you ever reloaded 50 AE or like any kind of large, even 44 mag, man? That ain't no joke, I mean,
45 long Colt.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, you reload them all the time. Do you ever have any problem with, cases getting stuck and your resizing die?
No. Just got to lube them up good.
Yeah, I guess I'm not doing a good enough job. I just resized about 50, those 50 AE rounds for the Desert Eagle, and I don't know, maybe the Desert Eagle has a loose chamber and it freaking blows them up like a balloon. But man, I had to crank on them, and like every fifth one, it ripped the,
really?
Yeah, the ground stayed up in the size and die, and the shell holder ripped the bottom off.
Well, 45 long Colt, I mean, if you really think about it, break it down, it's just a really long 45 ACP, and a 45-70 would just be a really, really long 45 ACP. So, yeah, it's going to be more sizing, no doubt. But
like twice as long or 3 times. I mean, that's a long round, man. I was looking at that thing going, holy cow, But anyway, the 50 AE really caused me problems. But I got 50 of them, and I'm in the process of reloading them. So I realized when I tried to resize my first 50 BMG piece of brass that you had to coat it with like motor oil basically to resize it. It was that bad. But I finally resized a bunch of them, and you don't lube them like you do pistol brass. You lube the piss out of those rounds, and it's like a oily mess in order to get them to size.
Sorry, typing.
All right, guys, we're getting close to the end. I want to do a quick shout out to what we had out there in the side chat. We had Fuzz Fork 8, Pop's Quest, Reloading from the Hot Pot, Curious Yellow Solar, Philo. Haven't ever seen that name before. Thank you for coming by. Daniel, God is my judge. Bad Billy, 429, Bald and Curious. HRM Weapons, Dr. Steve, Timothy Robinson, J. Greg Campbell, Loads of Bacon, VBorg001, DSW Outdoors, Insight Freedom, WTF SoCal, Bohemian Hunting Club, Papa's Place, Is Your Six Covered, Gun Wild, Gunmetal, Crazy Scotsman, Southern Style 357, and Jeff R. Videos. Another new one. Haven't seen that one. Welcome. Thanks for coming by.
Appreciate everybody out there. Enjoy seeing all those names. It's really awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this 9 o'clock hour is better, Trees. I think it makes it more conducive for people to watch opposed to the 8 o'clock, especially those with kids and have to get them to bed and everything.
People get out of work, you know, it gives them the time where they ain't got to shove something down their throat and get right on a chat or something.
Yeah.
Like SoCal there, he lives in California, so he's what, 3 hours behind us anyway?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but do we really care about those people in California? I mean, we really don't. I mean,
that's a very good point.
You know, I mean, come on.
They can't even hardly own guns in California, or they can own them, but then they can't shoot them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it won't be long. It'll be illegal for them to even watch. So,
Redneck Pepper just jumped into.
This channel will be blacked out.
Yeah. Well, they can watch it, but only 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
You lit Gun Wild up in SoCal anyway, Rob. Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to get ready to close, so I'm going to let you guys do some outros. And Dan, we'll start with you. What you got coming up? Anything special?
Yeah, I've got quite a few things, actually. Prior to the chat, I uploaded a video on a Desert Eagle 1911 undercover. It has a 3-inch barrel. It's a really small 45 1911, and it is a sweet shooting gun. So I just put that up, and I've got quite a bit to feature in the future.
Rob?
Well, I just want to say thanks for having me on. Donna, really, you know, you invited me on one of these chats a year ago when you were very selective about who you let on, and I felt real special, man. And I really enjoy your chats. So it doesn't matter what I got coming up. Whatever I got coming up, you'll see. But I really enjoy them and appreciate you having me on. So
appreciate you coming. Rich?
Yeah, I appreciate the invite. It's always fun. Good talking to you guys and all you guys in the external. Thanks for coming out. And yeah, I don't know. We've got a little chat thing going on Saturday, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I may do a little bit of a science here over the next few days. So I don't know. But thanks.
TR?
Thanks for letting me on, Don. I do appreciate it. I think I've been part of the gun chat, or whatever you want to call it, pretty much from the beginning. I don't know. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. I always enjoy it. Only thing I probably got coming up, I'm going to try. I'm going to hopefully reseat all those bullets that are too long, the overall length of my 45 long Colt, and shoot my new pretty piece here. I don't know. I know it ain't coming out good, but the Winchester 45 long Colt 1873. Lovely gun. I know I'm showing off, but I love this thing.
If I had it, I'd show it off too.
TR, that thing's worth some money, isn't it?
Yeah, it was pricey. I had to do a little research. It's I can't say, I said it in the video the other day, the bluing on the rifle is really close to what you might see on a Colt Python. The wood is walnut. It's not a color case hardened finish. It's actually color case hardened from what I read. But yeah, they're about $1,100. Was cheap as I could.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Made in Japan. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a nice firearm. It's well worth the investment. I've been waiting. I've been wanting one, and I finally, literally pulled the trigger and bought one. So I'm happy with it.
Good score. Sweet rifle. There's no doubt about that. Well, thank everyone out in the side chat. I appreciate it. We'll do this again in a couple weeks, and with that, you guys have a good rest of the night. Two Fingers just checked in. I'll give him a quick shout out there. So thanks a lot. We'll see you in a couple weeks. We're out of here.